Hello, so I welcome all the viewers to 46 Chess Brains Club Arena. I'm none other than Coach Abhishek, and we have Coach Dushyant with tuning us today. Hi Dushyant, are you excited for the battle?
Yes, sir, I'm excited for today's battle. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, and I hope our kids are also figured out and fired up for this exciting event. Currently, we have 51 contestants, and the number is soon going to double up. So I'm expecting around 100 participation by the after the 10 minutes of this tournament begins. So that is what I'm looking forward to, and let's see how that turns.
Okay, so who are you rooting for today?
Uh, okay, I'm not rooting for anyone specific as such. I'm going to support all of them because all are equally grinding, doing the hard work with their coaches, keeping their interest. So yeah, we'll see. I hope the best one wins. That's going to be my wish for all the participants. We have already got some requests if we see here that the first one we have got is for the Saiyan. Mm, So we are going to soon feature his game. Then we have the Devansh Sai, Ridan Shao, Dino King, and then Shivans. We have 5 6 requests which have already tuned in, and hope that goes well.
Yeah, tournament is about to begin in 10 seconds. So,
True.
okay, I'm excited.
Yes, I'm also equally excited, and we'll see how that goes later. All right, it has begun finally. So, Sayan is playing with white pieces and Renit is playing black. There is a rating difference of around 80 points, is what I can see right now. And already the Sayan has equipped some different setup if you see on the board, right?
Yeah, so he has Rian Chatot his bishop, um, but he blundered a main e4 pawn. Okay, but that can be easily compensated by putting rook on e1.
Yes. I mean, rook e1 is there, then they have d5, but then I think white can later meet it on with
Yeah,
d3, right? So
not
again,
immediate rook e1
yeah.
because
Again,
like
rook e1 can be again met with bishop captures f2, right?
yeah. So
Oh
plus
my
d
God.
first d3 to kick the knight away, and then
Yes.
rook e1.
Rook e1. Yeah, correct. Okay.
Even that is also wonderful tactic.
Yes. Actually, there are a lot of tactics. I mean, there is this discovery that we just saw right now, and then there is a fork if black won't be attentive. Imagine if they just look to castle, but yeah, they're going in for something here.
So I guess he should just take. No, now it will be a discord attack on the queen, and also
Oh, that means this queen can be easily saved now by capturing the knight.
yeah, correct. So now white has to waste some time to move the king away, and then he will save his queen.
Correct. This is not looking good how white must have expected. Again, one thing to again see, when you are going into early opening battle, it's important to take more time when you have gone out of your preparation already.
Yeah, correct. Now black have a simple position, like he just has to like save his knight. Yeah, correct. Then
And black is, wasting no time in simplifying the position as well, right? Again, the
yeah,
knight had no way to escape, I understand, but it clearly also shows that they are looking to simplify the position as fast as they can.
yeah, okay. Excellent play by black.
Yes. I think black is now going to, make this diagonal battery to try to go for another trade, I guess, and at the same time they will look to connect their rooks. On the other hand, the game is not looking good for white because of the triple pawns they have along the c file, and also the black need to cunningly bring their pieces out, and some or the other way they need to look to create their game.
Yeah. Double pawns are usually not good because they can be easily targeted. They can be easily targeted by the rooks. And right now, he should play a move something like queen. queen e7 to keep attacking all the pawns.
I mean, they could do that, but just simplifying the position is, I think, a better choice than just winning small material. I certainly believe that if we manage to force trade the pieces, the trades will, take the position to an end game where the kid can, save some more time and play another game in the time, right?
Yeah, correct.
So that could also be a way to go here. Both ways are correct. See, what I learned from my own experience is when you have a queen, when you have huge material advantage, small mistakes will not really matter unless you give your whole advantage away. So I think that's how it's looking right now, and it doesn't really matter. I think Renith is smoothly going to convert this. But again, what a move by Renith here, going for those weak pawns. So yeah,
Yeah, Zenith is playing excellent. Like for 1000 level, he's playing excellent. Like in the
yeah.
opening, he didn't made any mistakes,
I've
and
seen
like he,
1600, 1800 kids. They are super good with calculation, tactics, and game, but they forget to simplify. So
yeah,
that is a thing. So at a higher level, also they like complicated position. They think, oh, this is something that will make them better, because sometimes kids love difficult things, but sometimes it goes against them too. Again, this is a practice tournament, so they can think both ways. As whatever preparation is required, they can go with that.
now Black can just keep starting. Yeah,
Yeah, they
he
can
can
just
allow.
keep collecting pawns, or they can offer some trades. It's up to them. Again, I think white has also got a good pawn, but on the other hand, I think black is going to have an upper edge here.
Yeah, it's a double attack on the bishop and on the rook.
Correct. So I think the bishop b4 is the only way to maybe look after all. But again, we need to see how that turns, because hmm,
Yeah,
is
it
this
comes with
leading to a
such.
checkmate now? I see a dovetail coming with queen f1, queen
Hmm.
f1 over. So
Excellent.
again, this also shows that Renith has well prepared, those minute mating patterns. Sometimes, uh, they learn mate in two, but then the kids ask, Coach, why are we doing the mates again and again? But when you get familiar with those pattern recognition, right, you never miss those minute chances and you convert your game smoothly. 18 moves and Renith has got a very smooth finish here. Seon can again work on their prep a bit more and take a bit more time when they go out of their prep.
Yeah. So like in the beginning, he made a mistake that he lost e4 pawn. Basically, he should have just keep developing the knight first before developing the bishop, so that many of the opening mistakes, if we just develop our knights, we will not get crushed in the opening. Like that's what I have learned.
I completely agree with you. Following the basics I've seen taking kids ahead than taking on the complicated stuff. Yeah, that's fancy, but again, the basics is something that take them ahead is what I've seen. Okay, we are getting a request for Devansh. He's playing white, and then we have a grandmaster playing black. There's a minute rating difference of around 100 points, we can say. And what is your take on current position? I mean, where are you going to rate this?
The position is still equal, but like it's relatively better for white because of space advantage. Now white can easily expand with pawn moves. His bishop is centralized, and white controls the game here because of pawn breaks.
Correct. Is this like a Philidor? No, it looks like an Italian game only. White has picked something different because generally we don't see pawn on f3, right? This is not something very common because this generally weakens our king on the fool's diagonal. So this is something, again, some interesting choice. In Bertho we go f4, so
Uh,
it's not even the same case. Are
White
you
is
aware
playing.
what white is doing right now?
Yeah, white is creating a pawn chain. Now his white squares are controlled very perfectly. Like how can black even like try to attack? There are no ways to attack to white structure now.
Correct.
So basically what he did was like he knew that I will get weak on this diagonal, so he just moved his king to h1. So now his king will be forever safe there, and
True.
he's exchanging that dark square diagonal so that black will simply got no play after that.
Yes. And again, I'm wondering, even though, Sarit is almost to 1200, right? But I'm still wondering how is he going to, find the right middle game plan for such kind of positions? because again, this is not something we get on common basis. I know white must have did something uncommon, so it might even go wrong. But again, black is not going to have the right clue to punish that wrong move, right? It
Yeah.
might look completely fine. So again, this is an experience that not only Sarit, but when the kids will go through the stream, they will also collect some way to fight these kind of setups if their opponent ever played. One of the
Yeah.
idea I might want to suggest is maybe moving the king, moving the rook, and trying to attack with g4, g5. But it's quite a radical idea, and kids at 1200, so I'm very sure they are not going to get it. Obviously, the level that is not the level when they will know these plans.
Yeah. White just was simply white has to just exchange the bishops, put his knight on e3, e3 to then f5. Then I guess it will be very difficult for the black to defend.
Hmm. Correct. And they're also looking to play a bit on the king side. Again, if we see the move like queen g3, it's directly pointing to now take on the h6. We thought that they might want to trade and not have any problems with their dark square weaknesses. But then again, they're also looking for some basic approach, and I think black is smart enough to figure that out and unline their king immediately to the queen. And now bishop captures h6 won't work anymore for the time being.
Correct.
Again, I believe that if they want, they can try something like this kind of a break, because this also brings their rook into the game, and that can build more pressure along the g7 in the future.
Yeah, correct. White is playing wonderful. Yeah. Now just take with the rook.
Taking with the rook is one of the best approach here, because again, the bishop is something who's looking after it. I will not completely deny, but here, if let's say, if even if the if trades down the dark square bishop, again the knight is someone who will come in later and keep creating problems along the g7, if not the rook. So again, ample amount of pieces has been properly maneuvered on the king side, and this seems an optimistic position for white right now.
Correct. Like all of his pieces are taking part in the game. The only one piece which is not taking part in the game is rook on a1. He can
Maybe soon they
simply.
might even double up along the f file if they let's say invest one move into that rook. Maybe even that would
Yeah,
get resolved. I see.
yeah,
Now I
correct.
would love to see white improving this knight, because again, it will come more to the center, and it can be a very helpful piece later on f5.
Yeah, correct. White is playing wonderful.
Yeah. Black, on the other hand, a bit of passivity of the pieces. If we see, the pieces are developed, but they are not activated. In opening, we tend to develop the pieces from the starting square, but in middle game, then we should look to bring them on better squares. If they are on the same squares as of the opening, then probably they're not on the best position.
Now white is threatening checkmate in one.
One, yeah.
Let's see how he can
Maybe
defend.
maybe just bishop g6 might be enough for the time being, not only trying to take down that knight, so later the rook might get an open file in case if the white recaptures with. But there could be again some tactics, because now a lot of white pieces have gathered against this king, so we need to see how that turns.
Black may run into a fold. Okay, no.
Ooh,
Yeah, that's correct.
now there is a beautiful threat. If black is not going to be aware about this, they might it's gone. Rook captures f7 is now coming, double attacking the king and queen. Queen saves, or queen captures rook and
Devang
bishop
played like
takes.
excellent. Like I'm very impressed by his game.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
yeah,
At
1300.
1300, I think he's really showcasing a better strength. Maybe this kid won't stay at 1300 after a couple of weeks, is what I'm assuming. Maybe something more. Maybe 1450 or 1500, something. Yeah, is having a good strength. Understanding of the position is also something that separates. So I see good chances. Now they can simply simplify the position if they want to just take here, and bishop takes, queen takes. Wait, is that a blunder?
Yeah, that is a blunder. The bishop can take.
Oh,
Uh,
I think the kid is having 3 minutes again. Oh, wait, what? Didn't
Now it's
expect it.
just
Queen
checkmating it.
captures h6. Over. Okay, good game by both the players, but I think Devansh had more time. Sarit played a bit faster. Again, if they take a bit more time and let the game go in that last 1 minute, maybe they can survive these positions a bit more. And it's a good learning for the black and for us also how to see how these pawn structures work and everything. So yeah, good learning for all and good game by both the players. Let's take on the next request. Now we are getting a request for Ridan Shahu. It's taking on Daishnavi and they're playing the first game till now. Ridan is playing black, and Daishnavi is playing white. There's a minute rating difference of 24-25 points, and we are witnessing a rook endgame.
Theoretically, it's a draw, but in lower levels, like anyone can make mistakes.
Yes. And again, rook endgames requires high precision, and at the kids level, the time is something that plays a very important role. I've seen in the past tournaments, in the club arena tournaments itself, where the kids in the time pressure they end up making some errors in the rook endgame, and they end up giving victories to their opponent. So we need to see the time management, the end game skills. They all are going to play a part in this current position.
Yeah. Um, okay. Like here in this such positions, what we can do is we can just keep the rook on c5, like, and as soon as it takes the b6 pawn, so b3 pawn, we'll be taking the c, or we'll be taking the another pawn, and then we'll be using the rook to cut off the king, so that the king will
Correct.
not be able to like come on the
Yeah.
left side of the king.
Oh yeah, we can cut it off. On the other hand, black would try to you know use their majority against minority and try to create a passer. So again, white need to be careful about that part as well.
Okay. Like it's very interesting endgame. Like sometimes these positions are like a draw, and like it's very difficult to find how this position is a draw. Like it looks completely winning for black, but it may be a draw for white too.
Correct. They need to know those short side, long side games. Again, this requires good preparation of the end games too, and even experience. I've seen kids learning good rook end games from different coaches, but then when they go and play in a real game under the right real pressure, then they gain the right experience to handle those positions, and over the time they keep getting better.
Now he can just take the pawn with the king.
Correct. I think now black is having slight edge here. The pawn is going to fall on b3, even though.
Uh, okay, so I'm calculating a line where the rook takes the pawn, and then king goes to e4, and then the king is trying to approach the pawns like this way, white king.
Yeah, yeah, that is quite doable. E4, and then the shortest path can be taken here. Uh, Wait. Okay, they push, then
No,
trying
he
for a
should not push
skewer
the
here.
pawn. Yeah, even that is a good move, but then he is also threatening to take a pawn. And if there are two connected pass pawns, then it's not possible to defend after that.
Correct. Here, I think black is on. Look, it looks like black is on the winning side. I see.
Yeah, black is on the winning side, but I guess in it's a Philodol position or something where he will be able to draw, but not right now because that move comes with a check. If if white successfully manages to take one of the pawn, then it may be a draw, theoretically draw.
Correct. And these are connected passers, so it won't be again easy for white to find the right moves. And again, they are below the clock of 1 minute, so not really sure if they can convert this now, even in a draw. So it's it seems like black is having an upper edge right now. Clearly, I mean, black is doing well. Now, black also, it won't be easy for the black. They need to properly coordinate that king, rook, and those pawns to march forward and get a queen without any stalemate ideas or something. Currently, the rook is cutting off the king, but later they also need to be careful about. There has to be like a good coordination among those three to get a queen.
Yeah. Like black played a wonderful move to give a check first and then push the pawn. So
Yeah,
now the king is cut off and then he can just keep pushing.
correct. They're trying to trade and simplify. Again, good move because, yeah, the king can move, the rook can come. Pawn push, I don't
Yeah,
know if that's the
it's fine.
best.
It's fine. It's fine. King goes to
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, I mean, king will anyhow come. They cannot. Oh, a rook is placed so well that it won't allow the king to come on the other side. So good use of the rook by the black here. Very simple move, but it is having a lot more utility than what it is currently showing us. And I think the kid is going to run out of the clock soon. They're trying some counter check, I guess. But okay, we can queen up and just move the king around. Yeah. Over. I think the black has successfully taken this game to their pocket. Good game by both the players, but rook end games are often going to be tricky and against time, precision is required. We're going to take the request of Dino King right now. And Dino is currently on the top of the leaderboard if you see. He has won 3 games and he's now taking on Athwik. So it is going to be a game worth watching. Dino is playing with black's pieces and Athwik is playing white. There is a rating difference of around 160 points, if roughly, if I had to say. Black is okay. I think white is having slight edge in the position because of this passer along the rook file. In the end games, the rook file passers are slightly more important than the center passers. And black is
uh,
having this pawn which is pressing the white's camp right now.
yeah, but I guess that pawn was hanging in the previous move. The knight go. Okay, sorry, the knight was playing. Sorry, sorry.
Knight is covering it.
The knight is playing. Okay, so it's an excellent move. So that knight will be on queen. And then if queen takes queen, then just take with the pawn and keep pushing the pawn.
Correct. And again, they will have the rook behind the passer. So again, that increases the chances of your passer becoming a queen. King h7.
Okay.
Wait. Oh, it's a forced trade. Okay.
Keep pushing. Okay, excellent. I guess you should have played rook to a8, but that's called passive defense. And yeah,
Yeah.
black is doing excellent by keeping the rook on the like from another side, so that he will be always able to like cover the promotion square and also keep attacking the king like this. Now the pawn on
Correct.
e2 is hanging.
Yeah. Now, what is how the white is going to bring that knight for the help of this pawn is going to be another question to watch out for. Black is trying to somehow get that bishop on the pawn probably and then try to attack it more number of times. Good coverage by the black here. Bishop d8 is certain now. The pawn looks in the difficulty.
Okay, now he's losing the pawn.
Again, there is one thing, if we compare the minor pieces right now, a bishop is a long range weapon, a knight is a short range weapon. So how quickly the black was able to bring their bishop into the right utility, I think white knight would have taken a lot more moves than that. And because of which the black is able to outplay the white and take their advantage that they have right now to win. I think black
Yeah.
should now just focus upon capturing that pawn and then take the game ahead. So they're looking to simplify, and black is offering the draw. White has declined the draw. White is declining the draw. Okay. Again, in these type of knight bishop end games, also you need to be well versed with the theories. Small moves can make a huge impact. The at least the king activity of the king, activity of your minor piece in the center, and then playing on the side, you have advantage. Here the side is equal, same. They need to play on the same side because they have the pieces on the same side. Also, one more suggestion for the black here would be if they have a dark square bishop, they should try to keep their pawns in the light squares so their bishop can smoothly navigate through the board.
Now he just captured the pawn.
They
Now I
need to
just
take because e6 pawn was again another it was vulnerable. So yeah, king is
now
e5,
pawn in game is winning for
white.
white easily. Okay.
Now I
Now
have no
just take
question.
the
And I
position.
think white did a good thing by declining the draw and actually, converting that win for themselves. Wait. King d5, outflank.
No, but like white can easily like sacrifice the yeah.
One of the pawns, yeah.
No,
And then
not right
opposition.
now. Not right now. When the king can take. Now the game is equal.
Oh. That's why I was saying that endgame's threefold repetition.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like how
So
will you make progress there? There is no way to make progress.
there's no way to make progress, but I think White had a clear winning game right there. Then,
Yeah.
yeah,
He should
I
have
think that
waited a bit, and then he
yes,
could have played that way.
correct. I think Dino has not lost a game, but that draw is going to impact his maybe his
Winning streak.
points later. Yeah, it is going to impact. Let's go on the next request now. We are getting a request for Shivansh. They are not currently paired against anyone, but we can take their one of the recent games. Shivansh was playing white, Viraj was playing black. They both look a beginner to me, and one even have unestablished rating. Wait, they are 800, but they are playing Queen's Gambit. Were you expecting this at 751?
Uh, no, not much. At the beginning, they should first learn London. London is more like easy to play. Like here, they are gambiting upon in the beginning, but yeah, White is playing wonderful.
Again,
Okay,
I have
but
a question for you. Maybe let's say a decade back, 10 years back, let's say, we heard from many of the top players that an opening doesn't really matter till the rating of 2000. In today's
mhm.
day, when you see this generation, they are playing I've even seen at 600 kids playing some good opening. So what do you think has been a big role in this opening shift? Why the opening now has started mattering or attracting the lower rated players?
Like because of mostly because of opening tracks, like right now because of internet, kids are getting exposed to like many opening tracks in the beginning, and they seems very interesting to them, like how we can win in just 4 to 5 moves. They get very interesting by thought of that. So that's why now kids learn theory so that they could beat their opponents within like 5 to 10 moves and easily get an advantage. Like
Correct.
previous generation was more focused on like actual play, not on traps and everything. But today's case, like they focus on traps.
Yes, maybe for them this is the actual cool, but it's fine. With time, things have to change. Chess is going to evolve in its own way. So yeah. Anyways, it was good to know all that. Here, I think White could have taken with either queen because there's a centralized king. So maybe they could have created some good attack. Taking with the pawn is like you are, removing the roof of your king. Generally, the three pawns are meant to give a coverage to your king from any attacks coming from your opponent. If you break that roof and if it rains, your king is going to be wet in that rain. Queen takes queen. Okay, this trade is likely going to favor black because if they left the king in the center and if opponent don't have a queen, they are not going to deliver at least an early checkmate. But again, the enemy rook won't allow them to castle on the queen side either. Blundered a piece and then think black. What do you think? What black
Yes,
could have done better in the start of the game?
um, like he should have played a bishop e3, like it because of double pawns. Like now I guess it will be made difficult to like develop his sorry, castle is king now if he plays that. Now
Correct.
how it's difficult to develop that bishop.
This is going to be a big challenge, and because of that, we also saw that after few moves, when the knight got placed upon e6, they somehow played g5 kind of idea, and then they were actually looking to bring that bishop and castle. We can see their intention, but already that square was covered, and made no mistake in making that easy capture.
Yeah, and white also missed a fork. There was a fork. Take a move back.
Wait.
Here,
Ah,
take one more
knight
move back.
captures c7. But I have a question later. Should we take a free piece here, or should we give a fork? And if the rooks are connected later, should we take the rook and give our knight? What would you suggest?
In the previous move, like it was like hanging for two moves. Take a move back, one more move
Oh,
back, one more
wait.
move, one more. Yeah, yeah. In this move order, when he takes the
Aha,
pawn, he
here
plays.
there was a chance.
Yeah,
Ah, you're right. Here there was a
there
clear
it will be
chance
right.
they could have done it. Makes
Yeah,
sense.
but in the next turn,
This
when he's giving you a free bishop, just take the free bishop.
correct. At this point, though, taking a bishop would be better. But yeah, you're right. Here they missed a simple fork in the position. Again, the king is chasing the knight. But again, we see black has managed to win this game with a checkmate. Now, that is really surprising. Flipping the board to showcase their ideas to their opponent. I mean, to all the kids. So
Black one?
here, black won,
How?
and with a checkmate, I want to see that. That's why I'm flipping the board. And because it would be easier for the kids to understand from their perspective. When their opponent has more material, how did they not resign and still manage to win? I think there's some learning hidden in this position. And black was the one who was exchanging when they had less material than their opponent. Quite surprising to me. And white denied the exchange. White doubled up along the e file, which is quite non-questionable. White kept giving checks, checks, checks.
I want to say, how can you possibly like? Okay, okay.
Oh, wait, what? Was there a fork or something after we take here?
No, we can just take it for free.
No. Yeah. Why did the black play the rook? I think kids need to see if I look at their clock, right? White is currently having 8 minutes. I expect them to take a bit more time in play to not make the basic errors in their game. And for the black also, they had around 7 minutes, so they could have taken time and played it. Again, at the early level kids, it's more about just not making the basic errors. For you, it's not about finding those mate in five or playing any fancy openings. It's more about just not giving your pieces and trying to just have a solid chess at the beginning and just playing to enjoy the game, and then just doing basics right, and you are then okay.
Yeah,
Here
like
black took a knight to give a rook. Am I missing something? No. Okay, okay,
no,
okay.
no,
They
the
are
knight
not
was
giving the rook. Okay, okay, my bad. The knight goes here later. The
no,
knight
the
got
knight is hanging once
was
again.
protected already by the rook.
Yeah.
Yeah. Knight moved here. And
Now
here
just
it's
repeat the
hanging
pawn.
now.
Yeah.
C6. Okay. Now they made a sleeping battery. The king beautifully covered this area. The rook is covering from behind. So again, Viraj used the mating net concept here. Trapped the
Hmm.
king silently from two sides, and king had no squares to go. And no matter whatever you do later, if you don't see my silent move, I'm then going to play a fully loud and aggressive move that finishes off the game. So again, this mating net, this concept came as a savior for the Viraj here. Good game by this kid.
Yeah.
Again, there's one learning for the kids from this game if you can uncover it.
Like if you're playing a 10-minute game, you should take whole 10 minutes to play a game. Like, why are you playing in 2 minutes? So, and keep don't never resign. Like keep playing. Your opponent is also human. Even he can make mistakes. And they made a mistake and you won.
Correct. That's absolutely true. I would like to add one point. You saw how Viraj, lost. He was two pieces down, but he didn't click on that resign button. Just imagine, kids, if he would have clicked on resign, he would have gave his game without even fighting. He decided to play. He used his remaining pieces, the remaining resources properly, and he managed to win. So there's a good learning. Don't give up till the end. If it's not a checkmate on your king, continue to play till the last move. That will probably give you more lessons, and you might keep some chances for yourself to even come back, maybe get a stalemate, maybe get a draw, even if you're fully losing. So don't resign. That is a good sportsman spirit by the kid there. We're getting a request for Gregory right now. Okay. She's also not paired against anyone. Let's take their one of the recent games. So Gregory was black, Dipti was white. There was a rating difference of around 220 points. And here, the whites started with e4, and we had a Caro-Kann on the board. Generally, now black played knight c3, developing their piece, pawn d5, standard Caro-Kann idea. And sort of an exchange Caro-Kann. Later, knight f6 was played. Bishop b5 is a typical idea in these lines. Generally, it is recommended for the black to develop the queen side knight to not allow that tempo on the king. But okay, it's fine.
No, he should have took the knight before.
Yeah,
So
as
that his
soon as
queen has
this
moved
pin
first.
broke, the black is supposed to take. If there is a knight on c3, or if there's a bishop on b5, or both of them, or even one of those pieces, in all those situations, the black is supposed to take when the pin is broken or when their bishop is challenged. So that's like the general theory. And white successfully managed to unpin that knight and get this center square, which is a very good place for the knight. Queen was
Yeah,
played on
and
c7.
yeah, that's a
Oh,
good move.
yes,
Maybe he
let's
could
see.
have developed a bishop. No, okay, that's fine.
I mean, they could develop the
The
bishop,
pawn
I
is hanging.
agree. Yeah,
Mm.
the pawn was hanging on c6, so they have to somehow look after that. And what is going to happen if now the white manages to castle and think, oh, castling, makes my king safe?
Let's see if he castles.
It would be a disaster if they castled, and
Okay, no, he didn't castle. He played queen
I
f3.
hope he didn't castle. But imagine if the kid is just blindly following those principles, then oh my god, I hope they didn't. Yeah. They attack the knight. Now knight can simply land back if they want. There's nothing fancy needed to be done. If you want to try something like h5, even though I won't recommend those lines, simply taking the knight back is one of the best ways. But here black didn't looked after that knight. Interesting. And they lost a piece. Black completely neglected the white's attack. Played queen there. So black was trying to somehow create a fork in this position along on the king and on the rook. After bishop takes knight, pawn takes, queen takes. There's a fork in the position.
Yeah, but simply
And
bishop d2.
bishop
Yeah.
d2, and then black resigned for some reason. I didn't got why. Again, they could have tried playing like Viraj. You
Hmm.
never know. Your opponent might even go wrong at some point. So yeah. And a better deal for black would have been just going with h5 and see if the castle, maybe you can land that checkmate. Just wait a bit more. Else you just get the knight back. Just play your bishop on a better square. If you're afraid there's not going to be a pin, so you can go with bishop d6 and keep just a bit more pressure along this guy. Then you had open file. You can challenge the center with c5. The game could have got converted. They could have like tried a bit more. Okay, let us quickly take a look at the leaderboard right now. We have Sardana on the 10th position with 8 points, Vishwa on the 9th position with 8 points, Atvik on the 8th position with 8 points, Akshansh on the 7th position with 8 points, Dino on the 6th position with 10 points, Arna on the 5th position with 11 points, Yuvan on the 4th position with 12 points, Vishwa on the 3rd position with 12 points. She has just got a victory and she got 4 more points, so she's in the third position. Devansh on the second position with 12 points, and Sanif on the first position with 12 points. Did you saw one good thing today? No one has an exceptional lead if you see. They all are
Hmm.
giving neck to neck competition to one another. Even the kid at almost 2100 is also on the fifth position right now. And the other kids are also, almost on the similar point. So this competition is going to be really interesting for all the students. We are getting a request for newborn. We are going to take their game. Oh, they are not paired against anyone. Let's take one of their recent games. Newborn was playing white, Arush was playing black.
Dutch. Dutch
Can you
on the fly.
explain the viewers what is this going on? Because they weakened their king.
Yeah.
For
It's
kids, it might be really new.
Yeah, it's a real opening. It's called Dutch opening, like where you play F5. Like there are no immediate weaknesses, but still, it's not recommended for beginners because it weakens your king a lot.
Correct. So these kids, if we see, they are at 1700 students. So they come with good tournament preparation. They've spent a lot of time playing and preparing these with their coaches. They can play. After some level, even you can start playing, but you require a bit of experience here. And white is taking a bit of passive stance if we see here.
He's going for immediate attack, but it doesn't work like
Doesn't
he could
work
just
because I know this variation, whatever if I don't know if this is Leningrad or something. I don't remember its name anymore. But
something like Leonard Dutch something. I never studied that opening.
actually, Dutch is a very spicy line against d4 when you want to put your opponent out of the prep. Like when there have been days when London is actually disturbing you and you say, "Coach, I want to now punish those d4 guys." Then you go for something like Dutch after a lot of losses against d4.
Hmm.
You are tired of that and then you decide to do. Anyways, it's a sound opening. If you know and you have came up with good preparation, otherwise you can things can turn against you as well, as you said.
Now Black should castle queen side because his
And yeah, correct. Also, did you saw how beautifully Black played d6? I don't know if this is a part of their opening prep, but they failed one of the main plans of White, which was knight e5.
Yeah. Now, like a white London player must be thinking like, what should I play after that? Like he don't have any general developing ideas. Like usually, coach suggests that develop all of your pieces
Knight.
like this structure, and then put your knight on e5. But
Yep.
like this is completely against that. Like what will you play after that?
So basically, I have first tried the London in my career, then I've switched back to Cole because of its simplicity. So I now
Mhm.
know that again London, you know, London is just an advanced version of Cole with bishop on f4, and you have a weak pawn on b2 basically. So again, pawn to d4 can be a pawn to e4 is one of the main breaks they can look for. But the problem is if the black manages to somehow play d5, then that break won't be achievable. And in that situation, maybe again the knight idea, knight e5 can be looked. Pawn to e5 is something they can look for, or they can then try to create some game from here, but it's not going to be so much easier for them to figure out these lines. And then black tried advancing here, trying to hunch upon, trying to create some game.
Yeah, but black is playing a wonderful open. Like
What if the
for
black
that,
launches this king side attack and if white castles? And a smart game by white here also. They have not committed their king to the
hmm,
king side if we see, right? Quite smart line. And then as your advice, the black actually castled on the queen side. White castled on the queen side, and now actually the Dutch gets
now,
spicy.
yeah, now just wants to.
Yes, the bishop wants to go back. So where should this knight go now? G5, but you have double pawns, or would you like to go for something like H2, a bit more passive?
Like if knight goes to h2, then there is no future for the knight. Like he should go g4, so that
And
even if get traded, then we can play f3 to like fight against the pawn structure.
yeah, and again your rook might get the semi-open file to go against. Again, it's not a possibility, but at least your rook will have some breathing space along the h file. So if the rook moves later, you might get a pawn. Chances are very less, but again, it's a game, so we never know. Again, moving this pawn gave that square back to the white, but again, the knight cannot be landed easily.
No, just
Bishop
knight
could go.
d3 and then knight d3.
Knight, wait, knight. Oh, this knight. I didn't pay attention to that edge knight. Yeah, it could be landed, correct. And then they did it. Bishop offered a trade here. Hmm, nothing much. I mean, if white just wants to keep a sound pawn structure, they can remove, and then they can later on look to just land a knight there. Again, they can also go for f3 if they take another knight could support the idea of knight e5, and then direct also it's doable. Queen is covering right now. They did a trade with the enemy's knight. Would you prefer this trade? Because again, this knight cannot be easily landed here. But if you take, and if black takes, the square e5 completely gets the coverage back from the d6 pawn, right?
Um, yeah, but like, what's that bishop doing there anyways on that diagonal? If he manages
Correct.
to take, then you will be like left with double pawns. So it's better to take.
And black decided to not have those double pawns, but again, the square looks really juicy for the knight to again come and land in the future. Again, it's look more of a fianchetto game, but queen captures a7. What would have been a better way to stop to save the king from this check, apart from bishop
Um,
b7?
like he should have just moved his king back. Like
Yeah, just get the
he,
king and look after the pawn. Again, counter-attacking the queen could be one of the main ideas, but leave, giving up the pawn near the king could be even more tricky and confusing.
now, okay, take some moves back. Like you can see that white had make many holes. Like black had made many holes in his position. Like from the knight can now easily jump to b3, then also go to c4, c5 next after moving the queen, obviously. And now his bishop is blocked from every side. Now he has a very bad bishop after move c6. So that's
If they
not
go
generally recommended. They go safe.
again, can you tell our viewers what is the name of this concept?
Uh, like what? Like this pawn structure?
Yeah, it's a color
Let's see.
complex basically. Yeah,
Yeah, color complex. So like because
because
of that, now the black bishop will not be able to take part in the game.
no, I mean, see, even though as all the pawns of black are placed in the light squares, right? So the
Hmm.
black is having insane grip over the light squares on the board, but inversely their dark squares are superior. They're completely weak right now. So if white just uses all the dark squares to attack their opponent with the knight and queen, that could be really destructive for then black to handle because they have no control over the dark squares. So that is one of the key areas which white can target and continue the game. And they did, even if you see later, they have gone to d5 and trying to create some attacks on that backward pawn and stuff. So yeah. Do you think black would have tried pushing this, and no, this is not doable actually because
No,
queen
he
can
will
simply
just take
snap.
the pawn with the queen.
Yeah, correct. So if the once the knight jumps again, this is completely shattering. I think moving too
There's
many
checkmate
pawns.
one. Sorry.
Hmm?
No, sorry. There's no checkmate in. I thought,
Uh,
yeah, he should have
y-
not taken the bishop. He has a very bad bishop. He should have kept the bishop there because that bishop is not taking part in the game. And maybe f3 after this.
F3 is one of the ideas. If somehow you manage to remove the queen, you can create some mating chances later. So the rook is one of the key defenders for the bishop. The queen is there, but leaving your knight on the outpost is generally going to be recommended for the kids. Trade, and then F3 was somehow played. Would you like to trade the queens in such positions?
Mm, actually, it doesn't matter if it not change the position as such because, like, anyways, you are not going to make any progress with that lone queen. The queen can't do anything like all by one.
Correct, but I still believe, just keeping that initiative to your side and keep putting pressure. Okay, at
Mm,
one move, maybe your opponent might break. there is going to be a break-even point. Maybe because they have to repeatedly look after the right defensive moves. Plus, the time is something that will keep going against them. So keeping that initiative might be helpful because now if you trade the queens, white loses their initiative completely. If you keep the queens, you can look to target those pawns repeatedly. I know it would be repetitive moves, but you keep a bit more initiative to your side.
Yeah.
So again,
If
it's it depends how the players, because these are like 1700 kids, so they might want to try all these ideas which we are discussing.
like when there was a knight, like when the knight takes the bishop, and if black offers the queen trade in that position, like somewhere,
Hmm.
like when there was a knight, then it will be like suggested to keep a queen in this position. Like here, if he offers the queen trade, you should not take the queen because you have a knight, like with which you will be able to like keep attacking. But when there is no knight, then I don't think so. A queen can do anything much there.
I completely agree with you. Just one queen cannot do anything, but just building the pressure because they are humans at the end, right? So just building even a fake pressure could, because this is the game about strategy. Again, we know it doesn't work, but sometimes I've seen players collapsing in such kind of pressure for no reason. So again, theoretically it doesn't work, but practically the game is again we never know. I've seen players converting that positions into wins. So yeah, theoretically you are correct, but practically the results can change again. I believe that. Again, let's see what white did right to win this.
I guess there are
Oh,
just perpetual checks.
perpetual, and here now after a skewer, maybe they managed to win a rook. Something like
Uh,
that, maybe. No, huh? Skewer and now,
now from backside,
yeah,
yeah.
correct. The game
Takes it.
ended. So good game by both the players, but I think White stood on the basics, and on the other side, Arush came up with the Dutch, but did they came up with a good preparation for the middle game? I think that is one area where they and their coach can work a bit more.
Yeah, like in the opening, like Black played really well. Like White didn't get any successful like London system ideas, and he was like completely out of web. So
Yes.
yeah, opening was good, but like in the middle game, it wasn't good. Middle game and in game.
Yeah, late middle game when they moved too many pawns and those, weaknesses. I think that somehow White was able to use it a bit better. And in Rook end games, so then I think White completely outplayed Black. Again, their coaches will definitely help them. Getting a request for Advik here. Good to see the support from parents. Actually, we have a lot of requests. We might not be able to cover all because of the time limitation, but thank you for your support. We really appreciate that. Advik is playing white. Rudransh is playing black. There's a rating difference of around, just minute rating difference of 90 points. What is your take on this position?
Uh, Black has a easy game, like because he can just capture the open lines with keeping the rooks on the yeah correct. And then White is behind development, like his knight is not developed, his rook can't be like in the game, and Black is still attacking.
Yeah. Black is having better development, slightly better piece activity. Oh, oh. Did they? I think they have blundered a piece here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Again,
pawn was
kids.
protected by.
I will now not expect the kids to, take more time. And technically they should take, but you see that now the clock is just 7 minutes are remaining for this tournament to conclude. So they will try to bleeds out their moves and they will try to gain some more points before it actually ends. Good defense by the white here, not giving that pawn on c2. At least at 700 or at 700, 800 or 900, I don't see that, but good defense here by the white. And white, every trade will just make white better here because they have material advantage, threatening a back rank on d8.
Let's see Black spotters that or not. Okay, he spotted that.
Yes. Okay. Good spot by the Rudraj.
Material wise, they both are same.
Yes, because of those extra pawns. But again, I mean, for Rook, it's just about going on the 7th rank and maybe start collecting some things. Yeah, they need to look after their own pawns too, I know that. But Rook D7 can be a better way to approach.
Yeah.
In the last 5 minutes, we are going to keep our eyes on the leaderboard and their games. So
So now black is returning to play c5, c4, so that now king. The only move the king has will be like e2. Then he can snatch the pawn, and after that he got three passes on the right side. And
correct,
I don't think so. It will be very. It will be easy for white to defend three pawns using just a knight.
correct.
It will be very difficult for him.
I completely agree with you.
So take the pawn. Okay, very good.
Yeah. Now, knight to b5 could be a move which can simply attack multiple pawns. Right? Can they create like a mating threat? The knight is already aiming here. If somehow the knight attacks, the rook jumps in, it could lead to a simple mate only.
Yeah. In such cases, like you should always play h3 or s6. Then you will not at least get back rank checkmate. So yeah.
Correct. Creating that small loft for the king is really important, right?
Hmm. Okay. Let's see. There is no easy way to defend that pawn. Like if he defend that with the rook, he could easily play f5. Let's see what happens.
Yes, because of this, this pin is a slightly annoying for the white here if we see. So you're right. Maybe just defending with the king might be a better option. The reason being they unpin the pawn immediately and then it might be a good deal. Let's see. Okay, this is also something interesting, but the king is now going to fork the knight and the rook at once. The rook is defended by the knight, but technically if the knight moves, your rook will fall. So is there any practical way to defend both?
Um, I don't think so. There is a way to defend both of the pieces.
So the game is still having this twist and turns in the at the very last moment if we see.
Just keep taking unprotected pawns. Okay, correct.
Correct.
Now take another one.
White could have taken maybe h2 at some point because they would have got at least one passer later. But okay, good defense here. King attacking the rook, rook f2 maybe. Because if they get this pawn, then there are going to be connected passers on the
Yeah.
queen side.
No.
Okay, I think the momentum is now changing.
Yeah. See. Uh,
Oh,
White
I think
completely like switched. Black was
yeah.
completely losing, but like I don't know what happened to white. He first
Maybe
used the knight.
maybe the time pressure is something that acts or that works different on each and every player. Every player has their own perception, their own way of looking at it. So yeah,
Yeah.
some
Just
run
used
under
the
the
rook to
pressure,
cut off.
some wants to collect more points. I think it's over, right? Let's go back to the leaderboard now. Black is simply winning here. Okay, currently Atvik is having Vishwa and Sardana all. Are they paired against anyone? Because if they win one game, or Heridan is also catching up there. What is happening? There are four kids in last 2 minutes. Even till the sixth position, anyone can just come at the first position. I think this is for the very first time in the history of chess brains where such a neck-to-neck competition is going where the 10th place has 14 points and the first position has 18 points. Even the anyone with a streak, if they manage to get a point and if they have a better win rate, they might come at the first position even from the eighth or ninth.
Yeah, like Hidan Sahu has didn't even like draw any of this game. Like he has won every game. Hidan Sahu, second position.
Yeah. He's having a superior win rate if we see. Again, for Atvik also, it won't be easy. 75% is not a bad one. Vishwa, 86%, not a bad one. Sardana, 75%, not bad. Starfish Pikachu, one complete loss, one complete draw, slightly impacted by the results. Akshansh, if we see 83%. So I don't know. I don't want to even open a game right now because we are just 1 minute away, and then I don't want to miss on the live results. It's not worth even featuring a single game because all kids are like,
Okay. Are there any
all kids.
top matches going on? Top players?
I don't believe so. They're taking on, but they're not taking on each other. Like three is taking on six. Karthik and like Vishwa are taking upon each other. Then Pikachu are taking on Dino King. Wait,
Yeah.
Dino
If
is here.
Vishwa is
Pikachu
able
is
to win, then he will win the tournament. Okay. Okay. Vishwa win.
Vishwa one.
Now
Yeah,
he's first.
it's Atvik catching up though. I'm not opening the game. I'm just keeping it here. No, Atvik is not having a chance actually. Ridan, can they outplay? Ridan is taking on V plays. Some early opening skirmish going. And
I
yeah,
don't think so.
leaderboard
They
is.
will be able to finish the game in 1 minute. So
Hmm. But even sometimes, clicking on a draw button can give you those 2 points, and your win rate could. I've seen kids, they know that the leaderboard is about to get impacted. They click on the draw, and because they come up with that win streak of multiple games, they get 2 points instead of one. And maybe
oh,
that can change, that can put the 18-point guys to 20, and then maybe where their win rate could impact. So I'm going to stay here itself
see,
for
just
those 30 seconds.
Starfish Pikachu just jumped to the first
Oh,
place now.
all of the sudden he was on the fifth position. That's what I'm saying. I mean, we never know. Now, someone at 20 gets a draw and they could be on the first position.
Let's see, 10 seconds.
Insane tournament. Today, I think this is one of the best tournaments we had in the history of chess brains, and many more are going to come. Thanks to summer vacations, by the way.
Oh,
Okay, so
Starfish Pikachu won.
we finally have our winners with us. The second runner-up is Vishwa with 20 points and a win rate of 88%. Then we have the runner-up of the tournament, Athvik, 67% of win rate, but good game by the kid, good tournament. And then we have the champion of the tournament, the Starfish Pikachu, giving some thunderbolts to other kids, their games with their games, and securing 21 points. Just there's a minute difference of 1 point and a win rate of 75%, securing the victory for them. We congratulate all the winners who got a position here, and we congratulate, we appreciate all the kids who came here on this summer Saturday weekend and collected experience for yourself. Your coaches are definitely going to help you to analyze your games and get better before the next tournament. Thank you so much, Coach Dushyant, for sharing your wonderful and valuable insights with our students. What would you like to share? You know, hey, I just want to know how were your summer vacations when you were a kid back then? How did you use it for building your chess further?
Like when I was a kid, like in my neighborhood, like many guys were playing chess, like and they were so like federated players. I used to play with them, and that improved my chess a lot in the childhood. Like many chess basics, they used to like they didn't taught me any like opening repertoire against like white or black, but like they used to always say like keep developing your knights first, then bishops, and that you helped me a lot. And like in school, like I always used to like score very good result in chess. Like I always used to be first, second, or third. And yeah, so my summer vacations were like I really miss them when I'm older now.
I used to go at my cousin's place, or they used to come at my place, and we spent like 8, 8, 9, 9 hours just playing chess because we enjoyed. It was not that we wanted to build a career out of that, but
Mm.
just for the enjoyment. This was a wonderful game, and this career was a byproduct of that actually. So yeah, again, chess has a lot of stories. Yeah, and that's it for today, viewers. If you liked our work, you can hit the like button to if you are liking our work. Subscribe to the channel if you are enjoying things, and we would be bringing more events on every Saturday weekend. Take care till then. Bye and have a good time.
Bye, sir.
All the roads we travel, the journey of our lives. Take another picture before we say goodbye. Arm in arm we're standing side by side. Memories fade but legends never die. One last time, let's live for something. I can feel my blood, it's rushing. This ain't goodbye, we'll be back someday. And we will find our own way, take control of our fate. And like a car with no brakes, crash and learn, make mistakes. And we'll be back one day. I got dreams, wanna go fast. Know this energy's here to last. Not a glass half full, overflow that. Gotta keep your eyes up on the prize. Only got one life, so it's worth a try. To find what makes you feel alive, that's the only way to live it right. And now we're all doing our own thing, but I'll never forget our glory days. My mind is full of the memories, yeah. And I'll never forget what they meant to me. Don't worry, we'll be back one day to celebrate our glory days. Although it's over now, don't let it get you down. We'll be back around. For now we can feel some sorrow. A new day, it starts tomorrow. We'll wake up, new dreams to follow. A new goal and brand new motto. One last time, let's live for something. I can feel my blood, it's rushing. This ain't goodbye, we'll be back someday.